Well, welcome again, everyone. It's me, Nick Michalak, and the stellar Steve Frazier.
Hello again, everybody.
And we're bringing you a 25th anniversary commentary for Tim Burton's Sleepy Hollow.
Can I just say I can't believe it's 25 years? This one does not feel like 25 years. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. That just hit me when you said it. I was like, wait, no. Yes,
1999. So, guys, you got your own copy of Sleepy Hollow. Sync up your timestamp to 0. Turn your subtitles to follow along with us. We'll get synced up with a countdown. So, in 3, 2, 1, play.
I was working in the cinema at this time, and it was, my girl, Christina Ricci, and Johnny Depp, and Tim Burton, and all the things. And November is like the big month. Big month for cinemas, yeah. And it was, I always liked this little Mandalay. What do you call these things?
Slogos.
Yeah, I guess because they're
logos.
Yeah, I guess I don't know what the word is for the signature or something. I don't know, but I like that one because it's black and white with the anyway. Kind of a big time, and I don't know. I thought this movie was going to be like huge. And it didn't feel huge at the time. I think it made money.
Yeah. Because I actually went to see this on a double feature.
Okay.
I saw this, and then the Bond movie, The World Is Not Enough, came out the same weekend.
Did you pay for both of them, or did you sneak in?
I went to this one alone, and then I joined my sister and some other friends for the Bond movie afterwards.
Yeah, but the question is, did you pay for both of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Essentially, yeah. You did not.
Well, I'm saying there's a lot of times people do the old buy one and then go into the other one.
No. I'm legitimate.
All right. That's fine. I'm not saying that. I'm not accusing you. I'm just was curious.
According to Wikipedia, it about doubled its production budget, earned over $207 million. And budget between 70 to 100 million, somewhere in that range.
All right, so it did okay.
It did okay, then, video sales, rentals, whatnot, probably picked up the slack and gave it a nice margin.
Van Garrett. So I read this book yesterday.
Yes, you did.
All 50 pages of it.
The Washington Irving story.
Yes. It came out in 1820. That blows my mind.
Yeah.
1820. And aside from the names of the characters, there's not a ton. Well, there's none that really overlaps.
Yeah.
So, the Van Garrett was not. I mean, I think that was the name of the family that Ichabod happened to be living with at the time.
Okay.
But anyway, we can break it down a little bit here in a little. It'll only take me a couple of minutes to tell you the entire synopsis, but I'll wait a minute.
Yeah.
And look at that. You can't drive a car if you have no head. This movie has a very distinct look and feel to it.
Yeah, between the production design and the cinematography, which the cinematography was nominated for an Oscar.
I don't remember that, but it makes me very happy.
Emmanuel Lubezki, who worked with Inarritu later on and does win Oscars with him.
Yeah, that's actually pretty cool.
Yeah.
Of course, this 1999 is the year that The Insider got screwed.
Yeah.
And not that American Beauty was bad. I know we've talked about this. I like American Beauty.
Yeah.
I remember seeing it. I thought, this is a fantastic movie. And then I saw The Insider, and I said, this is a fantasticer movie.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah.
The Insider should have won.
Yeah.
So, the one thing that I actually feel like I remember... Now, I had never read the story until yesterday. However, it is, I feel, after 200 years, fairly common knowledge that the character of Ichabod Crane is an extremely tall and lanky and, like...
cowardly.
Disproportionately...
A little gangly.
Gangly, right. And I thought, what an opportunity when you've got a person like Tim Burton.
Right.
Who loves to do fantastical things.
Sure.
Why wouldn't he make Johnny Depp tall and gangly and like I don't figure out a way to make him look odd. And that never happened.
Sure.
So I thought that was weird. Even then, I was like, wait, but Ichabod Crane's supposed to be this tall, gangly, like long-legged, long-armed.
Most people probably saw the Disney cartoon as a kid or whatnot, and kind of at least have the imagery in your head of what
it's supposed to be, right.
That he's in the story, he's a school teacher, and they change him.
That's correct.
Because the entire project started with our special effects favorite, Kevin Yeager.
Okay.
He was trying to get the screenplay sold and everything with his own ideas, and eventually goes off to be written by Andrew Kevin Walker, who wrote Seven.
Oh, okay.
And so you got some folks, whatnot, kind of getting along here. I think Yeager was looking to maybe direct it himself, but whatever happened along the way, he did like Hellraiser Bloodline, which is an Alan Smithy film at the end of the day, because it got all butchered and whatnot from Weinstein's. Whatnot.
I love the facials. Johnny Depp is such a great actor. Yeah. Like, he doesn't get appreciated enough as a great actor. Yeah. Sorry, go ahead.
But you're moving along, trying to get it up, because it's probably a much more smaller budget type of thing when he's trying to get it up off the ground or whatnot, but I guess this was the point, getting up to this entire project, this is right before this is when Tim Burton's trying to do that Nick Cage Superman film that just spent tons of money and went nowhere. And so
they didn't even get out of like...
No, they didn't film anything. They were just test footage and concepts and everything.
Right, okay. I didn't even know if they had a full script for that. I just know it was a thing.
It was a mess.
Okay, go on.
But this, everyone always knew that Burton was into horror, but he never actually made a straight-out horror film before. So it's like little elements here and there, a little bit of gothic stuff, nothing... like directly, fully, this is a horror movie. You're just kind of injecting it here and there and stuff.
Right, because, like, Scissorhands is a little bit weird.
More of a gothic romance.
Right. Great tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's always done, like, odd things.
Yeah.
He's got his own niche, for sure.
Yeah.
So, yes... Michael Gambon?
Yeah.
The story is that Ichabod's a school teacher.
Mm-hmm.
And happens to be smitten with the Katrina von Tassel?
Tassel.
Von Tassel, yeah. And all these Dutch farmers. The Von Tassel guy was a farmer.
Okay.
Like, there is so much... So, the story's written 200 years ago, right? So, it's full of, like... It's kind of Old English writing. It's kind of hard. Like, you got to really pay attention. And
concentrate.
Right. And it's very descriptive. Like, there are entire paragraphs to talk about the chickens and the pigs at the farm. Like... There's
peculiar.
It's almost Stephen King-esque, but not as
elegant.
Right, where he paints a picture for sure of Washington Irving. That's peculiar, and so he's smitten with the farmer's daughter, basically, and doesn't really even have a house. He literally lives with, like, the parents of his students, like, on a weekly basis, just travels around, and one night goes to a party at the home of the Van Tassels, where he hears about 3 to 4 different people tell the story, tell ghost stories, including the famed Headless Horseman. And I don't know, there's a little bit of a love triangle, I guess, because there's the town guy who's also after Katrina.
Sure.
Anyway, so he leaves this party and encounters the Horseman, and then he basically disappears. Ichabod Crane disappears and never to be found again. And you're like, okay. And then at the end of the book, it's kind of called into question about, like, whether he, like, the mystery of Ichabod, did he actually live and is living the secret life somewhere or whatever? They kind of try to leave it open-ended and mysterious, sure. Right? There he is right there getting screen credit, including one possible theory that he went on to, like, get a law degree. So I think that's where that came from.
Okay. It's a weird thing. Every time I drive to work, I drive past Irving Road and Washington Street.
Oh, really?
Right next to each other.
And I live one town away from the town of Sleepy Hollow.
That's wild. I didn't know there was one in Illinois.
There sure is. It is literally 5 minutes from my house.
Jeez. Wild.
In fact, about 6 blocks from my house is Sleepy Hollow Road that leads to the town of Sleepy Hollow. Yes, I live right there. Sleepy Hollow is kind of a little hoity-toity hamlet in the middle of nowhere. So yes, if anyone wants to look up Sleepy Hollow, Illinois, it's a very tiny little postage stamp. And I live about 5 minutes north of there. Beautiful house. Probably a painting, but... All right, so we covered all that.
Yes.
What do we have here? We've got Ichabod, the lawyer, who is charged with going to this small town to find the murderer of several people that have had their heads lopped off.
Yes.
That's the story. All right, here we go.
I did just check. It did win the Oscar for Best Art Direction.
Oh, I love that. I don't remember that, but... Ooh.
Sure. There she is. He ain't liking that.
No. Yes, the way that he's looking at her is the way that I've looked at her.
Yeah.
Since whenever, what was Casper, 91?
Maybe a little later on, I think. She did Adam's Family first.
Oh, okay.
That was 91, I think.
Okay, maybe I'm getting them mixed
Casper
up,
was
yeah.
probably like 94, 95.
Well, there he is, Mr. Dumbledore himself.
Yeah.
Little did he know that he would go on to... I mean, the stuff of legend, right?
Right.
Like, the Harry Potter thing, which... I don't remember when... The first movie came out in 2001. I don't remember when the novel came out, but I think it was around this time.
Okay.
And it is... Like, very, very rarely is there a generational story that is, like, bigger than you can even quantify. Right. And that is Harry Potter in our lifetime.
Sure.
I think it's one of the best book series ever written, like, in literature. Look at this motley crew here.
In fact, the Burton gets to work with all these, like, real great, like, British stage actors and film actors. You got Christopher Lee early on, Ian McDiarmid, Gambon.
Isn't that one guy over there a diddler?
Yeah, unfortunately. So much so that in the new Beetlejuice, the sequel they just put out.
Yeah.
He's not in the film. They use a stop-motion animation sequence to show the fate of his character in the movie.
It's the gentleman standing on the right, right? I don't remember the actor's name.
Jeffrey Jones, yeah.
Okay, Jeffrey Jones.
Yes.
I don't remember exactly what he did or what he was accused of.
It was, I don't even want to say it.
Well, you could say it.
Tag the fucking YouTube algorithm crap.
Oh, I see what you're saying, but...
illicit child stuff.
Okay.
Let's say that.
This gentleman here.
Yes, sadly.
I like the direction here that we've set up a murder mystery. And all of these people appear to be suspicious looking.
Yeah. A little shifty.
The way that they've presented them, we've established like the murder mystery 101, right? We have a crime, and we're introduced to a series of characters, all of which who you already question.
Yeah. You're bringing an outsider to investigate them, and they're like put up the walls, keep them at arm's length.
It's also hilarious that like 5 or 6 gentlemen here would be like, oh, the Headless Horseman. And they all everyone just believes it like it's fact.
Yeah, just common knowledge.
Right, whereas this...
every town's got something like that.
This New York lawyer is like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
And you've already set up the fact that Crane is a scientist.
Yes.
He's all about practicality. Prove it with some chemicals and some research and some a microscope or something. I remember so much that they didn't promote Walken in the film as the Horseman. I didn't know until I saw the film, and then I went off in the lobby, and there were some banners in the lobby with his face on it, but I never saw it in any of the trailers or TV spots or the posters. They're kind of keeping it under wraps to a certain degree, so you kind of be surprised by it.
I kind of like it, though.
Yeah. Because also he's a headless guy. Aside from the flashbacks and maybe a tag at the end, it's all a stunt guy doing the work, so...
Right, he's only in the movie for, 15 minutes.
If even that,
If that. Because he does have those scenes toward the end.
Yeah.
Great hair.
Yeah, the teeth.
Great eyes. The teeth I don't like as much.
Yeah, it's a little extreme, but at least they've explained that he was just such a savage that he just fouled them down.
Right.
To look more fearsome.
Well, it's very
just
Tim
makes
Burton.
Him more of a monster, yeah.
Right, it's very Tim Burton to have this extravagant...
Expressionistic to a degree.
Yeah. What a way to go.
Oh, yeah.
I can't imagine it would even be painful, right? Like, wouldn't it be so instant that you
wouldn't really feel it, really. You'd just be kind of out before you already had any clue.
Right. I feel like that's the case. Great shot there.
Yeah.
Great makeup with the cataract there.
Yeah. Burton's another guy who just like he's got a certain collection of guys he kind of pulls on here and there.
Hey, that must be where Edge got the look for his jacket there from from old Jones there. I mean, take a look at the jacket that Jones is wearing on the right there. Thing's beautiful. I like that.
I like that, yeah.
I love I still can't get over the idea of hindsight in that, like, he took this role and then I don't know if he did anything next, but he goes on to play Dumbledore.
Oh, Gambon.
Gambon. And, like, literally the biggest thing in the world. Like, so how crazy is it to, like, think here...
Because he had Richard Harrison at first, wasn't he?
Oh, that's right. He didn't go on.
He passed after the first film.
Yeah, he played 2. Okay. You're right. Harris did 1 and 2. And then he took over in part 3.
About 4 or 5 years after this.
Yeah, and I don't remember the exact timeline, but you're right. My bad. Before everyone blows up the Twitter.
Sure.
Yeah, I forgot that there was a different guy on the first 2. Mm-hmm. But that makes it even that much more crazy, right? He stepped into
excelled beyond that.
That he stepped into a giant role and then made it even bigger.
Yeah, it's a hard thing. Yeah, one guy already established it, then you just take it off to a different level, and you're the icon now.
Yes. To the point where I recognize him as the one.
Right.
This is how they described, basically, the farm that Van Tassel...
Yeah. And they were shooting all this stuff in the UK.
Guy kind of looks like Jim Carrey. This feels very UK. Very UK.
Yeah. But it's nice because it's still colonial to a degree. I mean, it's past, like, independence of the U.S. and everything, but it's still got that feel of it all. So you got a lot of...
It's not that much past.
No. Just making sure it's not actual colonial, but it's still in the shadow of it.
Right.
And you got a collection of American actors, British actors, so there's a little bit of a mix of the culture in that regard.
Considering, I mean, the Horsemen fought in the Revolutionary War.
Sure.
So, I mean, like, if the book is set in 1820, or came out in 1820, I assume that it was present day.
Yeah.
Like, did they give a year on this?
I don't know.
There's never
on the film, it was 1799.
Okay. I couldn't remember if they gave a date.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean the war's only been over for 20 years?
Yeah.
They're closer to the Revolutionary War than we are to 9/11.
Sure, yeah.
Like to put it into perspective.
Sure, yeah.
God, time is so weird. I love stuff like that. I love stuff like that.
It's like you said, this one doesn't feel like it was 25 years ago, but that Bond film it does feel like it was 25 years ago.
Yeah, that was the Halle Berry one?
No, that was that was before. That was Die Another Day. There was one right before it.
Okay.
It was like, was it Robbie Coltrane? Whoever it was.
Which one was it?
The guy who got the bullet in his head who can't feel any pain.
Oh.
That one.
Okay. What was the name of it?
The World Is Not Enough. That's the third one he did.
Got it.
Brosnan.
I'd have to...
Can't even hardly remember it, and you watch these things on almost a annual loop.
Well, I've watched them all in order twice. Yeah. And then I'd seen some other ones around.
Yeah,
so I was just curious where I ranked that one. I've got a list of my ranking. So
those Brosnan ones, like GoldenEye, fantastic. Torn Advertise. It's
got its moments.
It's got its action moments. Michelle Yeoh, fantastic in it. Then the next two are just kind of.
You said what? The World Is Not Enough?
Yes, indeed.
I actually have that in my top 10.
Oddly enough. Oddly.
Number 8 on my list of rankings.
Intriguing.
Yeah. So, hey, look at that.
Oh, well, maybe it's not as bad. Watched it forever.
I've got GoldenEye at 4. Tomorrow Never Dies at 16. The World Is Not Enough at 8. And then...
Dies way down.
Gotta go down to the bottom of the list here. Number 20 for Die Another Day. So I actually have 5 that are below that one.
Sure.
The CGI really ruins it, but overall I didn't think it was that terrible.
Sure.
Anyway.
Any which way.
Nothing will ever be worse than Quantum of Solace.
No.
But I don't recall the two of these coming out the same weekend.
Yeah, I just remember that. Remember going to see this out, then I remember the exact theater it was. Went out in the lobby, waited for everyone to show up, and then we went off to the other movie.
Yeah, that's pretty great.
Maybe.
I love the clothing. I wonder if this was nominated for...
It was. Colleen Atwood, who was just...
Oh, sure.
She's, like, the best in the field.
She's royalty, yeah.
Yeah, both films came out in the U.S. on the same day, of course. Actually, UK got this, like, a week afterwards, which is weird. In terms of the Bond movie. They usually get them before we do.
So the Bond movie came out in the UK after the US?
Yeah, strangely enough.
That is weird.
Pretty weird.
I love that this, like, 10-year-old is basically vowing to avenge his father's murderer and willing to do anything. I haven't really been hard following the dialogue here, so I know that it's just a tangled web of, you know, this person was sleeping with this person and this person covered it up and whatever. Yeah. 5 victims and 4 graves. I can't get over Jones's coat. I love that coat. 5 victims and 4 graves is such a brilliant way to tell you that she was pregnant.
Yeah.
These sets are fantastic.
Exactly where they shot.
Good little thing there with the covering up of the nose with the handkerchief. I can't even imagine what a dead body would smell like in 1799.
Jeez.
Because they certainly didn't have
the best of hygiene, no.
Right, and there was no... I don't know when embalming became a thing, but I don't think it was then.
At least the soundstage stuff was both Leavesden and Shepperton Studios in the UK, which they had just shot a lot of the Phantom Menace stuff up there for Star Wars, and Ian McDiarmid was in the Star Wars franchise, so he just went from
one set to the other.
Giant blue screen sets to wonderfully designed actual practical sets for Tim Burton.
God,
it was such a refreshing take for him.
What? This is such the better way.
Yeah.
I can't.
Like again, I saw the new Beetlejuice, and he's actually using stop motion animation, all practical stuff. It's fantastic.
You will never, and I guess this is just me being old.
Yeah.
But you will never hear me say that practical effects are not the best way to do it.
Surely.
you know, that's not...
The more you can do in camera, the better the results will be. See, if you're going to use CGI after it's augmented, you still have something physical in the frame to start as a great foundation for everything.
Look at the blood. Jesus Christ. the bitch has been dead for... She doesn't have that much blood inside of her.
It's not pumping nowhere, really.
I love that actor, too. The chubby guy with the squinty face.
Oh, yeah.
I don't remember his name, but...
I know.
He's wonderful. He might not be alive anymore, actually.
Richard Griffiths. Now, passed in 2013.
I kind of thought that he had passed on.
He was in also a Harry Potter film. Vernon Dursley?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he was... Dursley, of course. He was the family that Harry Potter goes to live with after his parents are killed. Sure. He's raised by his aunt and uncle. Sure. And they're just awful people. Yeah. And he's the uncle.
And most of those films were all shot UK anyway, I'm sure.
Right, so yeah.
Grab all these seasoned actors of the UK stage and screen community.
There's a lot of hullabaloo made in the story about it being a very specific bridge near a church and whatever. Where
look at that cinema. Look at the imagery of this film. Just for crying out loud!
It's beautiful. Everything is beautiful. Look at that.
Oh,
the flaming head, and this is how it ends. This is how. It is in the story. Yeah, that's how the story goes, is that the horseman throws the pumpkin and hits Ichabod in the head, and the morning all they find is the pumpkin and his hat, and his body is gone.
Freaking. And they use that as a little ruse.
What a great thing, right?
Yeah.
Like, it makes me want to do that as a Halloween costume or something, you know?
That'd be great.
Oh, my God. Cherry blossoms. Wonderful. It's a very peculiar looking child.
And Burton is just such a visual director on so many levels. I mean... He's really one of those directors who never went with, like, CinemaScope. He always kept with the 185 format, and it really worked well for his style, his kind of lenses.
That's a fun little toy. And I love how it came into play. Comes later on into play. But also he had the cardinal in his office that he let go.
Yeah.
So that there kind of...
weaves the tale together.
Right. And if you think that's where it stops, you're okay with it.
Sure.
Because you're like, oh, I've connected the dots.
Yeah.
But now they're going to connect even further later on.
Yeah.
Love it. That's good storytelling. And you said the guy that wrote this also wrote 7?
Yeah.
That's fucking unbelievable. Oh my God, she's unbelievable. I know that she's polarizing, and a lot of people think she's hideous.
Well, we never thought so.
I've never thought so.
Also wrote 8mm.
Oh, okay.
Some hot stuff on his
no shit.
record, yeah.
And I'd like to take this point, this time once more, to express my blood feud against Devon Sawa.
Look at our Final Destination commentary on that one.
Because we are all of a similar age.
Yeah.
And in my mind, she was betrothed to me. Hate that guy. That's a great character trait, right? Like, he doesn't even want to think about the idea.
Yeah.
Right? I would be interested in reading it just to see how ridiculous it was, if that makes sense. These clothes are unbelievable.
Oh, yeah.
I don't buy that you could have that kind of scarring and not remember what gave it to you. That's a little for me, but he could just be playing coy and not wanting to tell her.
That's the thing.
But it's presented later on as if he's like has a repressed memory or something. Is he smitten? Is that the whole point of this?
Yeah, I think so.
Oh, there's the cardinal.
I mean, the use of color here, just having the fact you got the cardinals with the red and just pops out so much because this much more desaturated design of the film. Smart.
Like, how in the world do they get this look? Like, is it all done in post-production?
I'd imagine so.
Because I don't understand how you would have this color. Great scientific approach on that. Like, how can everything just look so washed out? You can't build a set that looks like that. It has to be done.
You got to treat the film stock afterwards. Yeah.
Because, like, the interior scenes, like, he almost looks black and white.
Yeah. I mean, that was almost the thing that Burton almost wanted to do in black and white, but I think the studio was maybe a little...
Like, tell me this doesn't...
he's already done Ed Wood in black and white.
This looks like a black and white film right now.
Right.
And clearly you can't... It's not makeup and whatever.
Right.
It's just... They had to film it normal and then do something to it afterward.
Well,
the Scarecrow's wearing like one of those Japanese like rice patty hats. I don't know. That's weird.
Well, it reminds me of because there was the John Badham Dracula film with Frank Langella, where originally the thing was shot with lush colors, but the director Badham originally wanted to do it in black and white. So when the thing finally got a widescreen home video release, he almost desaturated the entire film. It wasn't until a couple years ago that they actually finally released the full color version of it in widescreen on disc. So for like 30 years, all you could watch was almost a black and white version of the film. A lot of people were very unhappy with it, including myself, because once you actually saw the full color footage in the trailer, God, it looked gorgeous.
I do like a black and white, though.
Yeah. It's so great that the film had... It does feel kind of like an old school, maybe like an early Universal or maybe a bit of a Hammer horror film to a degree where you can feel like there's a certain element of a soundstage here, but it feels like it just fits with the stylistic qualities of the film.
Great face plant. I guess chest plant, because he has no face at that point.
It's a Ric Flair. Right on his beak.
Oh, that's not... not ideal.
No.
Oh.
That's going to give you... and nightmares.
What's great about that is that... by the way, the face on that Scarecrow was kind of a Jack Skellington face.
Sure, yeah.
So I don't know if that was a little homage.
Probably a little.
What's great here is that you have the scientist who has now seen the phenomenon for himself.
Yeah. Now he's...
The disbeliever has become a believer.
Yeah. He's spooked off his shit. He's flush. He's sweating.
Everyone... I love that. Yeah, of course it's real. We told you. Everyone told you.
Mm-hmm. He's back out again.
Faints.
I mean, Depp is such a good comedy actor, physical comedy actor.
But yet also a great dramatic actor.
Yeah.
And he also plays a good everyman. Like, if need be.
Sure.
Oof. Very bosomy, this lady. I mean, so is Christina Ricci. Let's be honest here.
Look at all this. Just gorgeous imagery.
Yeah, I don't know if anybody does, like, fantastical imagery.
Enchanting
quality. Quality, much like Tim Burton.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be him as a kid?
Yeah.
Right? And this is his mother?
Yeah.
But I don't want to be a pirate.
Like he's fishing with the little toy. No, not really.
And he's got the 10-year-old with him.
Yeah, little sidekick. No, I don't think so.
I feel like a flaw here is that it's a little late in the story for him to be asking questions. Like, I feel like it would have happened already, you know?
Sure.
Like, I don't think this is the point in the story in which he would have said, oh, I wonder if there's a connection between all these people. Like, he's a lawyer.
Sure, yeah.
You know?
It should have been, like, the third thing out of his mouth.
Right. Like, how is everybody connected? Right. Beautiful horse. Jesus Christ.
Oh, my Lord.
That kind of salt and pepper look.
The whole design of the trees and everything.
Yeah.
Like it. Oh, man. Again, this is definitely part of the soundstage, but like they dress it so well, and they get the layers of fog in it to give it some density. It's all very smart work from everyone.
And you said that the Oscar they won was for production design?
Yeah, the art direction.
Art direction, okay.
And nominated for the costume work and the cinematography. I wonder if I won a BAFTA maybe too. Let's look for a BAFTA here.
It's so funny that, like, us Americans really have no interest in the BAFTAs.
Yeah.
Like,
I figure it's a big UK production, but yeah, for them...
For them it's a thing.
Yeah.
It seems... I guess the difference is the Academy Awards are very inclusive of everybody.
Yeah.
And And the BAFTAs are like, if you're not British, you're not qualified.
Not
right.
Yeah, BAFTAs gave it Best Production Design and the costume design, and nominated for the visual effects work.
Nick. Didn't have to ask him twice. This is all very bizarre. Like, what are the eggs? Eggs in the cup, and just got extra bats laying around. How does one attain a container of bats? Like, where do you get them from? Like, oh, I'm out of bats. Let me go get some bats. Where? I mean, I realize it's a cave, but.
Yeah.
And we're to believe that this old lady just lives in the wood, in this rock, and does this all day? I don't hate it. I'm just asking. Yeah. That's very Tim Burton.
Yeah. Very large Marge.
Oh, yeah. That is fantastic makeup.
Oh, yeah. I was trying to find out who did the makeup on this one.
I can't imagine that there's anything that would be confused for, quote, the tree of the dead, end quote.
Gary Tunnicliffe, he's a pretty big guy in the field. Did the makeup effects work. Worked on Blade, Scream 4.
Oh. We like that one.
Yeah. Halloween 6, Love of Illusions.
We kind of like that one.
Halloween Resurrection, Candyman. Up the Hellraiser flicks.
Like the original Candyman?
Yeah.
R.I.P. Tony Todd, by the way.
Oh, Tony.
That was very sad.
That broke my heart. He was... I just saw the outpouring. Everyone absolutely loved him. Said all the kindest things in the world about the man.
Even this little subtle thing, right? Like, he wears all black, he has black hair, and he rides a black horse.
Yeah.
She has blonde hair, rides a blonde horse, and is wearing all white.
Yeah.
Like, how great is that?
Yeah.
It's so simple.
Yeah. Again, like you said, it's almost a black and white film, so just create that contrast of visuals in that regard. It just works so nicely. It complements the aesthetics of the film. And the kid's almost in a gray.
It's like a neutral.
brownish,
Yeah, neutral colors. Yeah. I was thinking the same thing, but I was like, is that... Oh, Tree of the Dead.
Yeah.
Probably it.
You're going to know it when you see it. A bit of drips blood. Like sap out of it.
Right. And again, more great facials out of him.
Yeah.
like between disbelief and disgust.
Yeah.
And look at this. Oh, whoop, oh.
And we're watching the 4K version. They treated the color on this thing extremely well. It's very faithful.
It's one of the things that I've noticed about 4K in particular is that red becomes
that really hits the HDR.
Yeah, like for some reason red is like the color of 4K.
Yeah. It was like back in like DVD, sometimes the red would bleed real badly and it would look kind of rugged sometimes.
Oh. All the heads. Oh boy.
Yeah, he's wasn't expecting quite that. Oh.
Cool sword.
Mm-hmm.
And you think this is on a soundstage? I feel like this has got to be out in the real woods somewhere.
Maybe.
It has to be. I mean, obviously the tree could be...
Yeah. Well, like I said, they've done a great job when we're in the village, and it feels the same as when you're in some more the enclosed woods areas. It's like that are clearly just directly designed and manufactured. So, like, they've done a really great job to mesh.
You don't think that they could have augmented an existing wood with, like,
possibly,
like gone into the woods and then added to it to make it look the way they want?
I do feel like there's probably at least a number of sequences that are probably like more of a more controlled environment to do some certain stunts or special effects work.
I love that the horse comes out of the ground like that. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And you're right. There's no reason to have Christopher Walken, like...
plastered all over the marketing materials.
Or actually acting in this, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah, because they got stuntman Ray Park, who, again, worked on Phantom Menace's Darth Maul, and very talented martial artist.
I know the name, yeah.
Yeah, he's very, very talented. So they got him involved in the whole thing, and basically he's just wearing like a green sack over his head.
Oh, is that what they did?
So they could key him out later on.
Well, that's pretty smart.
Yeah.
I like this kid. I'm a sucker for a ginger. Even his little vest or whatever is super cute. And then also, you know, he's a ginger, but so are his parents.
Yeah.
So
nice casting, yeah.
Well, and again, it's this color theme that we've got going, right? Like this is the red group, and I love this little gimmick, right? With the spinning and the fire, and there's a witch,
and an octopus, and
a cat. Like, I kind of want. Ooh, I want that bread. Yum. Homemade bread is so fucking good. Oh, jeez. Oh, the midwife. I forgot that this is the midwife. Who we met earlier. I feel like he'd be going after her, though. Because she knew the secret, right?
Sure.
Not...
Well, he's got to get past...
Oh, the first line of defense?
Yeah.
I see.
That's that. Yeah.
So good. He's got that little pouch that he hangs from his belt. The kid. What does he keep in that pouch?
It's a good head.
Rocks. What does a 6-year-old need with a pouch?
I don't know.
I'm so curious what he keeps in there. My mom tells a story, and I don't recall this, but she tells a, I guess, famous family story of her doing my laundry when I was this age.
Sure.
And apparently I had put a bunch of worms in my pocket.
Oh, Lordy.
And when asked, apparently I had some excuse about possibly going fishing, and I needed worms.
Sure.
And so I had grabbed them and put them in my pocket. And they were dead by then, so... I have no memory of this whatsoever. My mom fondly recalls the story a lot. Is that guy got a character name? Do we know this?
Him?
Yeah. Do we know what his character's name is? I'm curious if they took the name of the potential suitor in the story and gave it to him.
Brom Van Blunt.
Yep, that's him.
Yeah.
Yep. So
that's a hell of a name.
His nickname was, I think, Brom Bones in the story. His nickname. So they have the character names.
Sure.
And then they just rebuilt the story.
Sure.
Kind of using the theme, I guess. Which, a 50-page story would... How long was that Disney one?
Probably not terribly long.
Yeah, 30 minutes maybe?
Ain't no feature.
Yeah. What are all these sickles?
Size.
Yeah. I mean, I guess it's a tool for moving hay, right?
Yeah,
That's the idea?
Yeah. Oh, it's stuck right in your back.
I guess if you don't have a head, then, really everything else is moot.
Yeah.
Beautiful. That would hurt. Getting poked and lifted like that?
Yeah. Oh, Lordy.
Wow. Great cape, by the way.
Yeah.
I'm going to add the Headless Horseman to my list of potential Halloween costumes.
Sure.
They didn't have antibiotics in 1799? I don't think.
I doubt it. Saying he's the most, scientifically advanced person in the whole freaking state.
I don't want that anywhere near my food, by the way.
Right, tastes like hell.
So the idea is that somebody dug up the grave, stole the horseman's head out of the grave.
Mm-hmm. Uses witchcraft.
And then uses witchcraft and whatever to now dictate who the horseman goes after.
Yeah. Guy looks so familiar.
This guy?
He doesn't have any lines. He's not really listed anywhere.
Oh. Well, it'd be Ichabod's dad?
Oh, Lord Crane.
Lord Crane.
Peter Guinness. He's got a very strong face.
This kid does not have a strong face.
He was in The Keep for Michael Mann, Alien 3. Couple of things. Couple of kind of smaller roles.
There's that blood again.
A lot of TV work. You think he looks kind of like Josh Brolin to a degree. The big chiseled jaw and everything.
This 4K really,
Yeah.
I mean, it feels like we're right there in his face.
Yeah.
The detail is exceptional.
Yeah.
To the point where he probably is embarrassed, right? Like, don't have this good of camera on my face.
Right.
And you can see that she's got makeup on.
Right.
Which I don't like.
Yeah.
Because I don't like makeup. But I'm sure she's not intended to have, feminine makeup on. I think that's just
it's nice,
stage makeup.
Nice stage makeup.
Yeah.
It doesn't feel caked on.
Right. Although it looks, I mean, I don't like any of it. But
yeah. But there's some films you watch them in high definition, like, oh, that's thick.
Like, it looks like Johnny...
They powdered it on him.
Johnny looks like he's not wearing any makeup. Yeah. But you can... She looks kind of...
softened.
Glossy.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can tell. It's on there.
Yeah.
That's a good sign, sir. Aww. I love that house. Good makeup on the wound.
Scar, yeah.
And again, she's got on a black and white dress.
Yeah.
He's wearing black and white.
Mm-hmm.
I think these little things, right? These are very distinct choices.
Right. I mean, again, it comes from a director who knows what his design aesthetic wants to be. And is communicating that to everyone involved with the visual design of the film. Whether it is the costumes or the art or the cinematography, anything like that. So everything fits together.
And here is exactly what I like in any murder mystery.
Putting the pieces together.
Yep. We got all the note cards laid spread out around the room.
Yeah. I feel like Depp is one of those American actors who's never gotten a criticism about doing an English accent. I think he's always got everyone very pleased about his work on that regard.
You're saying...
Well, like he's done this, the Pirates of the Caribbean, a couple other things where he's put on much more of a British type of accent to a degree. I mean, maybe this is a little bit in between in that regard. It's maybe just kind of transitioning out of a British type of thing, but he's still got that sort of period flair to how he's presenting himself that feels a little bit English to a degree.
Well, everyone in this film, even though it's set in the U.S.,
it's still in the, like I said,
colonial
the
British,
British. So there's still an element of that in his performance.
Although the idea is that they're all Dutch, because
everyone up here,
they've got the Von names, which is very Dutch. I mean, and also there were windmills in the background, Dutch imagery.
I mean, it is such a weird standard to put into films. Like if you're doing a period film, it doesn't matter where they're from, just put a British accent on it. It just works blanket, because it probably stems from some sort of like British stage tradition or whatnot, where like whether you're playing Italian, you're playing the Greek, or whatever the hell it is, just British. Like 300's about Greek Spartans. They're all British, though.
Oh, sure.
Gladiator. Everyone just has either a British or American accent. It doesn't matter what the hell it is. Even though it's set in Rome.
Right. Everyone should be, with an Italian accent
or something like
that.
But it just becomes like a standard accepted thing that I understand, but I don't understand.
Like, British is all of Europe.
Yes.
Here we go. All the pieces are putted together. Putted? Oh boy.
Yeah.
I need a nap. They're putted together.
Yeah.
How does someone work in an environment such as this?
Yeah, it's all over the place. They haven't invented filing cabinets yet.
No, I guess not. I guess not.
They haven't made them upstate yet.
They also haven't come up with the word hoarder at this point. I feel like his hair is different here than
fluffier,
than it was earlier in the film. Like it's longer or something.
Like maybe it's like a reshoot. They put a wig on him.
Yeah, something's weird. Something's different.
Off, yeah.
And that's a very, like, German-looking house, right? Yeah. What are they? Alsace style, right? That's what it is? We need our European friends to weigh in on this.
Too close to the truth.
A little bit, right? Yeah. Boy, she is a delight.
Yeah. Now there have been a couple of people saying that they don't feel like her and Depp have that much chemistry as romantic leads.
There's the Ichabod we know and love.
Old fucking spider, man.
Yeah, no shit.
I once saw one, I think it was even bigger than that, and it freaked me the fuck out, man. Which is crawling up on a wall somewhere.
I mean, that's a tarantula.
Yeah.
Which...
That's a big furry,
ugly
sucker.
Those are friendly. I would, I'm okay with him. I'm okay with that one. I would hold that one. Tarantulas are very nice. I thought about getting one. My friend has one. It's still very small, though. It's only a couple inches big.
Lovely looking stuff here.
Yeah. It almost looks like she's floating.
Floating, gliding along, yeah.
Could they have done that with like a dolly or something?
Yeah, they might have had like a track or whatnot, kind of moving along. I don't know how to do it when it's kind of going
downhill.
Downhill,
yeah.
Whatnot, but so maybe they got someone like a ballet dancer who could work,
right?
Move that way.
Oh, look at somebody's fucking in the woods. Look out!
Uh-oh.
Why would she have that just laying there? That's nice. That looks nice.
Yeah.
I'm not...
It's getting weirder by the minute.
I'm not entirely sure what that man is doing to that woman. It didn't look like the things that I know are supposed to be happening, but...
Yeah.
She burned the evidence. And, okay, I realize we got to have some sort of, like, I guess, conflict of interest, you know?
Sure.
It can't just be that he puts all the pieces together and then that's it.
Yeah.
There's got to be the falling out before the return,
Sure.
you know?
Yeah.
And I guess it makes sense
Ebb
that...
and flow of the romance storyline.
Right. It makes sense that she would defend her family.
Yeah.
Great line. Can we get a close-up of him again? Please? I want to look at his hair. Because look at how...
This one looks like it lays the right way.
It's short and tight and... you know what I mean? It's up.
The other one was styled differently.
It was down. It was like very emo.
Yeah, it was weird.
I think that might have been a reshoot with a wig. I think you nailed it because this looks like his real hair.
Yeah, this looks real.
Harmless old man. I love that coat. I mean, everyone's got good coats, right? But
oh yeah.
That looks fantastic. It's hard to tell if it's a painting or if it's miniatures or if that's just... Look at this.
Yeah.
Like, I could see them doing matte paintings in the background.
Like a big, backdrop or something.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Right. Oh, he's the one with the best coat.
Yeah.
I love the hats, too, the ones that kind of fold up on the side like that. I don't know what that style is called. I forgot about this scene at the church. This is pretty great.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's got their muskets that take 5 minutes to reload.
Yeah.
I really think this is a large cinematic achievement. This whole sequence.
Yeah.
Like, all of these people bustling to and fro.
Yeah.
I love the imagery of the horse on its back legs.
Mm-hmm.
That's friggin' awesome.
Yeah.
Is the horse also a ghost? Because you could kill the horse, right? And then, just shoot the horse. And then he'd be the headless man, not the headless horseman.
It comes out of the wig. I like it.
I never really understood the wig. I know it's a thing. I know
Sure.
And I don't know the story behind the why.
Sure.
I just know that it's true. And I like it.
Sure.
I like the wigs on everybody.
This is such a great bit here.
I love that the lightning strikes are basically black and white.
Yeah. The blood, man, it's so good.
And he's dragged away. Look at this. This is unbelievable.
And head's just outside. Oh, lovely.
It really is good. Everything about this is so good.
This is a great shot coming up.
This crane shot.
Oh.
Really wonderful stuff.
Yeah.
And now, we're gonna learn that she was actually drawing the shit to protect, not to...
Yeah.
Right, okay. It wasn't that she was casting a spell on him, it was to a spell of protection.
Yeah.
Which he would have known if he just read the fucking book that she gave him at the beginning.
In the first place.
Dummy. Oh, these are his drawings. I mean, look at that magical coif of hair he has, and then compare it to that scene.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was not right.
No.
That's a great line, too. Beaten down by reason. I think it pretty incredible of this screenwriter.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, Seven being nearly a perfect film.
Sure.
It's one. I think it's one of the best movies like ever.
Oh yeah.
With a new 4K coming out soon, by the way. I find it pretty incredible that you could take the bare bones novella and
enrich it so much.
Right, like weave this story. Yeah. Right. And, you know, Seven, in a way, is also a murder mystery.
Yeah.
So, this guy very good at that.
Yeah.
Clearly.
Very much so.
This one, I think, is a better murder mystery than Seven, but Seven's a way better movie.
Yeah.
If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Because, like, this one is designed to be a murder mystery.
Yeah. Seven's more psychological, sort of almost philosophical.
Right. But it's a detective story, right? You know? And also the, hardened, chiseled cop and the rookie. Like, there's an element of that.
Seven's very much why they're doing it type of thing.
Right.
That's a little bit more of the overall spectrum of who done it and how they did it.
What? The tears down her her face there. Everything just feels like dirty.
Yeah, it's got a real world lived in quality. I like it so much when you have a design team that knows how to weather something in a very realistic way. Or write my scratches or wear or dust, soot, whatever you want to call it. I mean, the floor is not perfect. It's got little scuffs here and there, so they go through a very particular process to make it feel like it has a texture to it.
She's pretty good at fainting. Do you have to make that noise? Do you have to go ha when you whip the horse? Like, if you don't go ha, does a horse not go? I'm curious. I've only been on a horse once. I don't remember going ha in order to make the horse go.
Just feed some beans.
Oh, sure.
And some cab ride.
Pretty sure that's the same episode as the Marble Ride.
Yes.
All right, so it was the evil stepmother all along.
Yes.
Controlling the head. another scarecrow with a pumpkin head, which I think that's such an interesting choice. Oh, good God. Right in the basket. That's 2 points.
There you go.
The blood on the face is so dramatic. What a clever twist! That the family's last name was Archer. There's a little bit of an element of, like, let's just tell the whole story at the end here.
Yeah.
Which, as you know, I hate.
Maybe kind of finding out a few clues, then it kind of clicks together with a few final pieces.
Like, it'd be one thing if he had put the things together at the same time that she was.
If he dug through that mountain of records and found something in the guy's place.
Right. I love that the little girls come back to be a thing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, Stephen King has a great, like, idea and has expressed a notion that, like, any good character comes back a second time.
Yeah,
for something.
Yeah.
In some way. And so the idea that, you know, we've got your minutes into the movie and you see this Walken story, right? And you see the little girls and you just kind of pass it off as a you know, part of the like you dismiss it.
Just another piece of the puzzle.
Right. And you know, a good screenwriter says, well, we need that to mean something.
Right.
Everything means something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't, you know. Yeah, like I get that, like, it all makes sense.
Yeah.
I just don't know if she's the one that should be revealing it. Like, like, oh, aha, it was me. Here's all the things and the reasons.
It's a lot to dump on the last 10 minutes of the film.
Right. You and your master. Like, it was his dad. Like, that's a very Dutch windmill right there. Now wait, isn't that supposed to be the skull of the Headless Horseman?
Yes, it is.
Then why is its teeth normal?
That is weird, yeah.
I mean, they made such a point about the teeth.
Right. Oh, darn it.
That was a regular skull. That's not. Yeah, that's a goof.
Yeah, that's unfortunate.
I've never noticed that till right now.
Yeah.
When you kind of look at things with a critical eye when we do this kind of thing, you know, and. Good move. I mean, all logic is thrown out the window, right? Because he can't. How is the man able to do anything with no eyes? I'm not sure if that windmill is going to get much action with all the sails broken like that. Love the fire.
Uh-huh.
It's no backdraft, but, you know. This would have been a fun set to be on, yeah?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's a set. There's miniatures. There's visual effects going on.
A lot of great editing there, too, actually.
Yeah. To marry everything together.
Right, to make it, you know, because he was... The scene where Johnny Depp jumps off the sail, I'm sure he just jumped like 3 feet off of a, you know, a set.
Yeah.
But then they made it look like he fell forever, right? Like, editing is so important.
Oh, yeah. The timing of it. That's a nice line there.
Even here, the hair looks a little bit longer.
Maybe.
Maybe it's just the way that it's styled.
Sure.
But either way, it does not look the same as in the one scene at the magistrate's office.
Yeah.
I like that the subtitles, I just realized, the subtitles refer to young Masbeth as young Masbeth. I don't even know the kid's first name.
I don't know either.
Because they've only ever referred to him as young Masbeth.
Yes.
That's hilarious to me.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh. Better watch your head, dude.
Yeah.
I mean, no pun intended.
Yeah.
I just...
As speaking of such.
Right. Oh, and now he's riding backwards. Like Billy Crystal in City Slickers. Who did his own stunts, I believe.
Way to go, Billy.
If I'm remembering correctly, Billy insisted on doing all the horse stunts in City Slickers himself. What a run he had for a hot minute there.
Oh, yeah.
This is a pretty great sequence.
Oh, yeah.
I always wonder, like, how long is this road? Where are they going?
It's like Bridge and Chainsaw 2.
Oh, that son of a bitch went on for miles.
Fucking 30 miles long.
Oh. That'd be a fun one to revisit. Everyone go back and rewatch Chainsaw 2.
Yeah.
We did several years ago. That opening sequence on the bridge, man. They really tried to get away with some shit. Didn't fool me. Even when I was like 8 or 9, you know? I was like, how long is this bridge?
Yeah, this is great. I mean, we've got a little bit of scares, you got the adventure aspect, but then there's a little bit of comedy every so often.
This is actually almost like a Bond sequence.
A little.
But you're right. There's all of the different genres mixed into one here.
Which is all Burton. I mean, he blends everything so nicely.
The visual effects alone, just on the horsemen, are spectacular.
Yeah, it's all industrial light magic.
I guess you go with the best, right?
Oh, yeah.
If you want visual effects, you go to ILM. If you want practical effects, you go to K&B. Like, that's it, right?
Yeah. Oh. The same spy got driven with the sword in.
Well, right, that's a fresh wound.
That shoulder ain't gonna be worth shit now.
No. So, he who holds the skull with the wrong teeth is in charge? Like, oh, there you go, kid.
Yeah.
Beat that bitch. Like, did anybody ever think to just...
And they're not quite as sharp as they were before.
No, I mean, they look like regular teeth.
They're kind of sharpened, but...
Yeah.
They're not quite as prominent as they seemed before.
That's not what it was.
It doesn't seem like they match at all.
They didn't match, no. Look at this.
Yeah.
This is unbelievable. This is literally outstanding.
Oh.
Some of the best work that's ever been done, right there.
Yeah, it's stellar.
Maybe his shoulder will be worth a damn.
Sure.
Look at the teeth there, though.
Yeah,
like
they're a lot more prominent. Look.
So much more gap.
Yeah.
They really should have just had the skull look like that the whole time.
Yeah.
You're right. I bet he's only on screen for 5 or 6 minutes.
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah! You gotta yeah when you go. The horse doesn't go otherwise.
He's got no other dialogue. I mean, when you look like that, what do you need dialogue for?
No. The bloody tree, so good.
It's like Burton bringing back Walken from Batman Returns. You got Depp back from various things he's done, and
like many things. Yeah.
Alfred Gough, who was Alfred in the Batman movies. Everything is like really just like certain people just really enjoyed working with so much. Oh. This is great.
Oh, that's so good.
I'm sure Walken had a fun time with this shit. Don't have to memorize a single line.
Walken.
You just get to look like a demon and wreck shop.
He's had one of the most interesting careers.
Oh goddamn.
Like,
what hasn't he done?
You kind of don't take him seriously ever. Even though he's won an Oscar.
Yeah.
For a dramatic role.
Yeah.
I love it. I love that. He's still squeamish.
Yeah, he's just like, I've had enough of this.
And here we don't look like a black and white film anymore.
Yeah, we're getting back in, we're slowly going into a lusher.
I imagine that this is what it looked like the whole time that they were filming it.
Likely, yeah.
And then they just, downgraded it.
Yeah.
That looks fake, but okay.
It's a little soft, yeah.
Soft kisses.
Have to wake up to that.
Absolutely.
And then this is just gorgeous.
The black and white theme continues. Look at these outfits.
Yeah, then.
Look at this. The production design here is fucking unbelievable.
Yeah.
And you believe that this is New York City.
Oh, yeah. Magnificent shot. And, of course, probably a flag, probably with appropriate stars, I'd imagine.
I would think so. And the flowers are in color.
Yeah.
The flag was in bright color. Super, super well done.
Yeah, yeah.
I'm really having a hard time wrapping my mind around it being 25 years ago, though.
I mean, because it stands up so well. I mean, just in terms of like the technical qualities and the artistry, and Yeager worked on some creature effects too.
Yeah, outstanding stuff.
Yeah. I mean, even though they're kind of on the technical wars, I mean, still that this well crafted. It did get those Oscar nominations, at least one win on that regard. It says a lot for what Burton was able to achieve on this. I mean, he's always got pretty fantastic production design, but the fact that he married so many different qualities that looked really fabulous on this one.
I'm thinking back now. This might have been his first film to win an Oscar.
It may have been.
And I don't know if any have won since, but I'm trying to think, in his... I don't really know the timeline of his films that well. I could tell you, for the most part, what they were, but it doesn't come as naturally to me as some other directors, the timeline. So, like, Pee-wee obviously didn't win anything.
No.
And Beetlejuice, I don't think won anything.
I don't think it, and definitely didn't win anything, no.
Right. It may have, I can't imagine it would. And then Batman would have been next, right?
Yeah.
And then
got nominated.
And then Scissorhands after that.
Yeah. Batman Returns, Ed Wood, Mars Attacks.
Ed Wood was nominated.
Who was the supporting actor?
Landau.
Landau.
Right?
Landau. I think he got.
He might have won.
I think he got.
I think he won. Yeah, I want to say Landau won. Okay, so this would have been... All right, I forgot about Ed Wood. All right. All right, there we go. We pieced it together.
Yeah.
Look at us, following clues and note cards and shit. Linda Lou, great name, Miss Foley artist. Great movie.
Yeah.
Great movie.
Yeah.
And I know we didn't really talk a lot about Johnny Depp in this whole thing.
Here and there.
I mean, as far as like his career goes,
sure.
This is just yet another quirky role in the pantheon of quirky roles that he's.
The fact he shot up so fast from Elm Street, then he does 21 Jump Street, then he started doing Scissorhands and everything else. It really shot up fast for him.
Yeah, I don't know. Jump Street lasted a little while, right?
Well, he was on it for 4 seasons, I think.
Okay, and he wasn't
he
really
left before the last season.
He wasn't doing a lot of film acting, though. I don't think.
I don't think so. There's 1 or 2 roles or whatnot.
So then that would have taken him up to what, like 89 or so?
90 or so, yeah.
And I don't know, when was Scissorhands? 91?
90 or 91, yeah. I was in between the 2 Batmans.
Okay, so I'm trying to think if he had another film role between Jump Street and
June and a couple of things. So
yeah,
a couple of things that make him kind of a heartthrob.
Mark Yeager, studio manager. Interesting. I wonder if there's a relation. But yeah, like I don't know. He became this cult figure.
Yeah.
Like early.
Yeah.
And I guess Scissorhands was really the one to do it, right? That projected him into the stratosphere.
Right.
The Computer Film Company? That's weird. That's a weird title.
Yeah.
Huh. Anyway.
He does something kind of similar to this with, like, From Hell, where he's, like, another, like, British investigator, but...
Yeah.
I saw that one at the Discount Theater. Decent enough, but I don't feel that strongly to ever revisit more than, like, once a decade, maybe.
That was the Jack the Ripper case?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ian Holmes in it and a couple other folks.
Sidebar, I do highly recommend, if anyone has Netflix and is watching the Unsolved Mysteries, the newer ones...
Okay.
they did an episode on
Ripper.
the Ripper, and you go, oh, I thought I already knew everything about this case. Totally not true. Mm-hmm. It's really well done. I mean, it's 48 minutes of your life.
Sure.
Super good documentary on Jack the Ripper via Unsolved Mysteries on Netflix. Press play on that. And then you can soon press stop on this because we're done.
Yes.
So we'll see you next time.
Yeah, so guys, thanks for joining us, and have a good day.
Adios.